onye me nke ọma ebunie ya elu si ya jide nke oji na-aga n'iru biko ka anyị gbakọ kịta wee kene n'Eze-Ana Eze-Ana ga-adị Eze-Ana ugochitubelu nwoke ọma na oraifite ị ga-adị ọdịnala bụ eziokwu ọdịnala bụ ụzọ ndụ ịma na o nwere olu na-eti mkpu na-asị ụmụ Igbo chigharịa ụmụ Igbo chigharịa kwa mbọsị ọ na-eti n'ụtụtụ n'abalị ọ nọ na nkụzi Eze-Ana ugochitubelu onye ọma na oraifite onye mgbasa ozi ọma ọdịnala gaba n'iru Eze-Ana ugochitubelu onye mmanya ji eme ọnụ ọdịnala bụ ụzọ ndụ gaba n'iru Eze-Ana ugochitubelu onye ọma na oraifite onye mgbasa ozi ọma ọdịnala gaba n'iru Eze-Ana ugochitubelu onye mmanya ji eme ọnụ ọdịnala bụ ụzọ ndụ gaba n'iru Eze-Ana ga-adị ugochitubelu ga-adị ugochitubelu tempụl ọ ya adị maka na eziokwu anwa chacha ndị ụka erigo anyị front and back ndị oche eri anyị front and back faji asị kala aka ghọrị ụmụ Igbo si anyị rapụ nke anyị na nke fe ka mma bulu Baịbụl bịa akwụkwọ akụkọ wepekwa chọọchị fa okwu n'ụka bịakwa
ụtụtụ ọma na ụmụ ọdịnala Igbo anyị abịagonụ n'oge awa nke eziokwu nke ọ bụ mụnwa bụ Ogbuefi Eze-Ana ugochitubelu na oraifite na-anọ n'isi ya. Oge awa nke eziokwu bụ oge anyị ji awa eziokwu niile agba maka ndị ọ bụ tata ihe niile ị kwesịrị ịgba gbasara mụnwa bụ Ogbuefi Eze-Ana ugochitubelu kpọọ m Ogbuefi Eze-Ana ugochitubelu na oraifite abụ m onye isi nchụaja na ugochitubelu ọdịnala tempụl. Anyị na-agba afa miri emi ma lụkwazị ọrụ mmụọ dị iche iche. Abụkwazị m onye isi nchụaja na ọdịnala Restoration Evangelical Mission, bụrụkwazị onye mgbasa ozi ọdịnala Igbo. So you can call me an ordinary evangelist. I will answer. My mission is to help people live better life. N'ụbọchị tata n'oge awa nke eziokwu, isiokwu anyị ji wee bịa bụ Wake Up Africa Part 2. Wake Up Africa Part 2. If you pay attention to this lecture, believe in me, you will learn lots of things. Mana before I gaba n'iru ọkwa dị mkpa. Oge awa nke eziokwu bụ oge anyị ji awa eziokwu niile agba. All the time of truth. We always tell you the truth and nothing but the truth. Yes. If you want to join us in our monthly rituals, you can join us anywhere you are all over the globe. Distance is not a barrier in all our spiritual work or our consultations. We are doing monthly rituals. You can join all over the world, anywhere you are. To join, what you need to do is to forward your 3 prayer requests. Make token donation to the account number. If you chat me on WhatsApp, I will tell you other details we need for you in order to book you. We have started this monthly ritual almost 3 years now. And lots of people have been following us since then, till date. What we are doing is that every morning I will go to the temple, pray, make declaration upon the lives of those that really join us for the month. At the end of the month, we go to the river, offer sacrifices, eatable things to the entities of powers, do saraka for the water people, for all, on behalf of all people that join us. Then we proceed to the temple, offer sacrifices to entities of powers on behalf of all. I can tell you there is power, there is large benefits, huge benefits, joining in rituals, monthly rituals, is very beneficial. Going forward, if you are joining us, tell people about our administration. If you are joining us from social media platforms, share our links, share our messages. If you're interested in joining us in monthly rituals, what you will do is to chat me on WhatsApp 0805 7837 672. I repeat 0805 7837 672 or 0813 82 43871. I repeat 0813 82 43871. As you are doing this, we'll be able to respond to us and stay tuned. As you are following us today, believe in me, this lecture will be an eye-opener. The bandage from your eyes must fall today. Thank you. Now, let's proceed. As you all know, today's topic is Wake Up Africa Part 2. Let's proceed. I'm calling upon all the African sons and daughters to come back to their roots. Believe in me, your roots will remain their source of energy. The taproot is the source of your strength. Your root remains their backbone. Without you remaining connected with the root, you can never achieve anything. Nobody, as I repeat, nobody will love you more than your parents. Go to me anywhere in the world. But the white people, the Anyari people, they came here with lots of lies. They blackmailed our fathers. They gave our fathers bad name because they have ulterior motive. The ulterior motive is to deceive our people, for us to abandon our root, for us to abandon the very fabrics, the very root that is our backbone. Without the root, you can never achieve anything. Let me paint a picture. If any branch of any tree is cut off from the main tree, from the root, believe in me, that branch of tree will wither. The branch will die. It's only when you are connected to your root, you will receive every nutrients, everything that is beyond your reach. Yes, because your roots go far deeper than your imaginations. So any tree that severe itself, if it's possible, from the root, will wither and die off. So if anybody is trying to convince you to abandon your forefathers, to abandon your roots, the person have done the worst thing ever to you. So my message today is a wake-up call. It's an admonition to we Africans, to Igbos and the Africans in general. Let's come back to our roots. Believe in me. The Anyari people, they came here with lots of lies against our fathers, against our roots, because they have ulterior motive. They want to take what rightly belongs to us. So pay attention today. Today, as we are proceeding, we teach you a lot of things you need to know. And we have lots of quotations. Yes, today I will expose you to African spirituality. Most of you don't know that we have in Igbo spirituality, yes, we have a spiritual book called Nkomi, Deep Thought. This spiritual book has come in English and the Igbo version. It is written by our own forefathers. Somebody like B.A. Oji, on the Mbono Ojike, Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe, M.I. Obara, and Herbert Macaulay, name them. There are many that founded this African religion called African traditional religion. Some of you don't know that African traditional religion exists. It has been in existence from the time of our forefathers. But in recent times, our elders, our immediate past ancestors, registered it with federal government. Yes, that is what is known as African traditional religion, otherwise known as Ghanaian religion. Some of you don't know that we have all these things structured on ground. It's a vehicle for us, we Africans, to understand the benefit of going back to our root. We have hymn books, we have holy books. I will introduce them to you. And I know when I came back to my root, my first point of call is to study what I'm about to tell you today, called Holy Incoming. Studying that book helped me to learn so much. And as well, you can also join as a member of this African traditional religion, otherwise known as Ghanaian religion. If you care, we have branches many places in Nigeria today. So what I'm advising you is to pay attention and see how you can get even a book, a copy of this holy book called Incoming. Listen, let me show you. This is called Holy Incoming. This one is the English version. The English version of it. Why this one is the Igbo version? This is Igbo version. Yes. Some of the things I will tell you today, I will take it from this book, holy book called Incoming. Deep thought. This Incoming is written by our own immediate fathers, our forefathers. They made so much research. It's our handbook in Igbo spirituality. But today, I want to center my teaching today on Africanism. There's a chapter in this book called Africanism. Part 1. Africanism, first Africanism. Yes, we read this from chapter 1 to 40. First Africanism, chapter 1 to 40. Then what I want to tell you today is this. It's a wake-up call for we Africans to come back to our roots. Believe in me, there's nothing good you will see by the way they blackmail our system of worshiping God Almighty. God Almighty is never Odobia. Is not a stranger to every race. We Africans are choosing people of God. So nobody, Chukwu Okike, Chukwu is not a stranger in Africa. We Africans should worship Chukwu in our own way. Because Chukwu is everywhere, to every race and tribe. And he understands every mode of worship from human race, every tribe. But these foreigners, they came and make it look as if their God is superior than our own God. No, because it's Ofuchukwode. It's only one God. However, every race worship God using their own method. But we Africa, what did we gain from these foreigners? They invaded Africa. Call us bad names. Call our systems of worship bad names. Demonize it. Because they have ulterior motive. Just to enslave us. But if you pay attention today we are going to read so many places in the Bible. Do you know why I want to read many verses in the Bible? I don't want to start reading from Nkomi, because if I start reading from Nkomi, you have not read them, so you might not understand. So I want to use that same book written by these foreigners, despite the fact that they wrote that book to favor them. But as you all know, lies cannot stand. No matter how hard you try to cover the truth, something must expose you. In Africa are not too good in documentary. So, but they are good in documentary. So they documented so many things, destroy so many facts in Egypt of today. But they did not destroy the pyramid. Yes, it's historical site in Egypt today. They did not destroy that because there is no way they can carry. If they know how they can carry the pyramid to their place, they will do it. Because they took everything valuable in Africa to their own land, nationalized them, claiming that those things started from them. But it's not true. We understand that great philosophers, because civilization started in Africa, great philosophers studied in Africa. In the person of like Aristotle, who after studying in Africa, he went to his place, Athens, Greece, and they trained other people, now claiming that civilization started in Athens. No, he was a student, he schooled in Africa. Many philosophers was trained in Africa. Have you asked yourself why is it that our forefathers, we have lots of parable, philosophical words that sound philosophic but is a word, our forefathers, that originated from our forefathers. So civilization started in Africa. It will interest you to know that even the first university was built in Africa. It will interest you to know that even their leaders, the Moses, schooled in Africa. We give so many things for these people. Don't forget that the first world power is Africa, the Pharaoh. We Africans, we started from Egypt and spread all over. So everybody all over the world turned towards Egypt for one favor or another. You remember the story when Herod wanted to kill the infant. He killed all the innocent kids in their place because he had a vision that they are going to born somebody that will be greater than him. He ordered to be killed every child of 2 years down. And we were told that Jesus, Mary, and Joseph flee to Egypt. He remained there, he schooled there, and got educated from Egypt, and went back to synagogue as a full-grown man and began to teach his people. He got all those wisdom and knowledge from African teachers. So we have done lots of things for these people. What are they paying us with? Segregation, hatred, and other things, inhuman behaviors against Africans. Today, we will read from Genesis. We read many verses from Genesis 12 to Genesis 32. and Exodus 12 verse 40. All these verses, we read them at intervals for you to understand the enormous city of what these people have done to us. Nobody can love you more than your ancestors. That is my point. Nobody can love you more than your ancestors. Believe in me. These people are so cunning. They came to our place, not that because they love us. They came here. Their mission is to take everything meaningful, to take our mineral resources back home. That is their mission, and nothing more. So pay attention. We read from Genesis. We read so many verses for you to understand that these people are very deceitful. Some of you are singing, normally singing, Abraham, blessings am I. You are dancing. Abraham, blessings am I. All these things you go see really. When was the last time you sing such song using their ancestors? The last time I checked, I have never seen any of you that sing such a song, similar song with your ancestors. You did not even remember that even your ancestors' blessings are yours, but you are claiming another person's father's ancestors. These people are very cunning. They are not truthful. At the end of the day, they committed lots of abominable acts. Africa is first children of God. We have rules, do's and don'ts. We have culture. We have what you will do in Africa. It became abomination. But they don't have all those things. They don't have culture with the Judaism. So if you are a child of Africa, rejoice. Africans are choosing people of God. But we don't know what we have. That's why we are throwing away everything that belongs to us away. What makes us great? Today I'm calling up all Africans to wake up. So for you to even to see that Abraham you are celebrating, yes, some of you are still shouting, "Are you Abraham?" Today we will tell you how deceitful these people can be. They hated us till tomorrow. So there is no way you will think that these people that hate you all this much we abandon good things for their people and came to us and begin to love us at old age. It's not possible. Whatever they are doing with us is for their own gain. So read from Genesis. Read Genesis 12, 10 to 20 for us. Let's start with that. Just pay attention. If you have a pen or paper, we are going to read not less than 6 quotations in the Bible. Do you know why we want to read from the Bible? So that you will not say, Ogbuefi Eze-Ana is reading from Nkomi. But I told you that all these things you are going to hear today, if you go to our book called Nkomi, Africanism, first Africanism, from 1 to 40, you will see all that. But I don't want to start quoting Nkomi now. But if I start quoting African traditional religion Nkomi, you will say I'm quoting Nkomi. I want to quote your Bible. The same story they wrote against us is the same story I want to use to teach you something that you don't know. So pay attention as we read Genesis 12 from 10 to 20. Pay attention. Read louder.
Genesis chapter 12 verse 10 to 20. Now there was a famine in the land, and Abram went down to Egypt to live there for a while because of the famine was severe. Verse 11. As he was about to enter Egypt, he said to his wife, "You are a beautiful woman. Every eye will behold. Verse 12. When the Egyptians see you, they will say, this is his wife. Then they will kill me, but they will let you live. Verse 13. Say you are my sister, so that I will be treated well for your sake, and my life will be spared because of you. Verse 14. When Abraham came to Egypt, the Egyptians saw that Sarah was a beautiful woman. Verse 15. And the fellow officials saw her and praised her. They brought her to Pharaoh's palace. Verse 16. He was treated for Abraham's sake. Abraham acquired lots of cattle and donkeys, both male and female, and servants was included. Verse 17. But the Lord inflicted serious illness on Pharaoh and his household because of Abraham's wife. Verse 18. So Pharaoh summoned Abram. What have you done to me? Why didn't you tell me that Sarah is your wife? Why did you lie to me that she is your sister, and I have taken her as my wife? Now, here is your wife. Take her and go. Verse 20. Then Pharaoh gave orders about Abram to his men, and they sent him on his way with his wife and everything he had.
It's not bigger than yours. We just read from their Bible, yes, which you believe in. Genesis chapter 12, from 10 to 20. How deceitful this man you called, he said, your father in faith. Because they wrote all the whole book to favor them. Without knowing, when you keep lying against Africa that housed them, don't forget, Africa housed these European people, these Jewish people, for 430 years. That is long, how long we fed them. We provide their needs. 430 years is how many years these people served us in Africa. Because every one of them is looking towards Africa for a living. After we trained them for 440 years, 30 years, what did they pay us with? What did they pay us with? Hatred. Yes, hatred. And that hatred is still today. They can never love us genuinely. So I'm calling you to reject everything. Everything they call spirituality they brought to you is just to keep enslaving you. Believe in me. Look at their father of faith called Abraham. He is coming to Africa for greener pasture. But he has this cunning and untruthfulness. He came here with lies. And because of that lies, is the same lies they are telling you today against your forefathers. And you keep listening those lies. He came here with intention to deceive because he loves material things. He understands that African soil was blessed. In order to acquire those material things, he has made up his mind to lie. He married his wife Sarah from his people, from his side, traveling down to Africa to make a living. He came with his own system because he knew that his wife is beautiful. His intention is to be using his wife as runs gear. His intention is to be using his wife to run a shower walk. To use his wife as a bet to be getting so many things, because normally people will be patronizing his wife and at the same time giving him what he wants. And because of that particular action, Have you asked yourself why this woman remained barren? Have you asked yourself? Have you not think that this life of runs introduce his wife could be responsible why his wife did not even bear him child on time? Have you asked yourself? I just want to tell you something based on the story they wrote themselves. He took his wife to Pharaoh, and Pharaoh began to marry the wife, his wife, because he told them lies. Instead of telling them that Sarah is his wife, he told them that Sarah is his sister. Such a man can never be trusted. Everything that we had in contact with them was lies, just because of material things. Because on Yobale frontier, his wife as a sister to the Egyptians. People are sleeping with her, giving her material things. In fact, Pharaoh married his wife, thinking that his wife is a sister, in order to acquire cattle, sheep, everything, even mates. Abraham became rich because of deceit. Now, when Abraham became rich, he even have servants, including Hagar, our African sister, our African daughter, that is serving him, because he became wealthy because of that cunning. The same thing is the intention why the Anyani people came to Africa and divide our towns, our countries among themselves because of mineral resources. They can never change, they can never lose. So when Pharaoh began to marry the Sarah as wife, and for the fact that he did not make necessary inquiry supposed to do, believing that this Abraham he was a good man. Because Africa has abominable act, something he cannot do. Because Pharaoh has been sleeping with somebody's wife unknowingly. But you know in law, ignorance is not excuse. Whether you know or you don't know, he will still penalize you. Pharaoh was penalized for sleeping with somebody's wife. Though he didn't know, but he was penalized. When he began to see some certain thing that is happening in his family, he began to ask questions and find out. Maybe he consulted Alpha, and he found out that actually the woman he was sleeping with is somebody's wife. Abraham lied to his wife. That why I want to use you as wrong girls is that they will not kill me. That I will use you as a bet to get all the things I want. It's deceit. Why can't they say the truth for us? And since their father is the father of lies, do you expect their children to be truthful? Now they use his sister, his wife, to get all he needs to become rich. This is the people you are believing. Since their father of faith will say this kind of lies in order to get material things, what do you expect from their children that came here as a missionary in order to enslave us? Please read the second verse and chapter.
Genesis 16, 3 and 15. It says, after Abram had dwelt 10 years in the land of Canaan, Sarah, Abraham's wife, took Hagar, her Egyptian maid, and gave her to her husband Abram to be his wife. 15. So Hagar bore Abraham a son, and Abraham named the son Ishmael.
Thank you. You have already had it from your mouth. These people came to Africa with lots of lies. Africa, we have a way we live our life. Very natural, with no laws of nature. Do you know the lies they told about us? They came with not lie, telling our forefathers, if you marry more than one wife, you go to hell. It's forbidden in the church. If you marry more than one, they will not be giving you Holy Communion. They will not give you all the titles they normally give in the church. all this thing is to destabilize the way our fathers live their lives. That is in accordance with natural laws. So they destabilize the way we live our life. Yes, they destabilize everything because they want to humiliate us. But even their own father, Abraham, do you know that Abraham married 3 wives? Do you know? Yes. He married Sarah, his first wife. He married Hagar, African daughter, as second wife. He married Keturah. Abraham in all have 8 children from 3 wives. Sarah born a son for him. Hagar born 1. While Keturah born 6 children, male and female, making them 8 in number. But they will not tell you all those things. They will tell you that the Abraham blessings are theirs. But in all, they lies against us. So our own daughter Hagar gave birth to a son named Ishmael. Yes. Continue reading the third one.
Genesis 25, 1-2. Abraham had taken another wife, whose name was Keturah. Verse 2. She bore him 6 children.
Thank you. You had it from your Bible? Yes. Do you know the conspiracy? Let me open your mind. Africa, wake up. Let me tell you what happened. The thing is that he got married to his maid, former maid, Hagar, an African daughter. When Hagar, you know, in life, there is some certain people, if you are looking for a wife, a child, your first wife might not give birth. But if you marry another wife, immediately the first wife, the new wife is getting pregnant, that your old wife will conceive. It normally happens because of the luck of that second wife. It can bring blessings for the first wife to conceive, because Sarah did something right by saying, okay, Hagar, marry my husband. Because of that singular welcome he gave initially, Sarah was blessed also. When Hagar became pregnant, she, not long enough, became pregnant also. So, but jealousy set in. Immediately he noticed that Sarah Hagar is pregnant for a baby boy. He became angry and connived. After giving birth, he found out it's a baby boy. He connived with her husband, I mean Sarah, to show you that this hatred does not start today. When these people began to hate Africa, because remember the story when Egypt, the Pharaoh of Egypt, understand that Abraham deceived him, that Sarah is his legal wife, he sent them away, he banished them from Egypt. That is why they left Egypt in banishment. He left everything. He did not kill Abraham for lying. He said, Abraham, carry your own blood, carry everything, carry whatever you acquire in Egypt, go your way. You have brought nemesis to our town. Yes, because Africa, we're also African and so we have abomination. Sleeping with somebody's wife is abomination. So when Abraham goes his own way out of Egypt, he began to maltreat our own daughter, Hagar, he married. Because Hagar is not one of theirs. Hagar is an African daughter. This is the people you are celebrating, you are calling your father, saying Abraham blessings yours. I don't know what you are thinking. Maybe because you are brainwashed. So when he took Hagar, his second wife, out of the African soil, he began to maltreat her. After giving birth to a male child, you know what he did? He gave her a few things, few food and small water, and drove her out with the son Ishmael into the desert to go there and die of, because he know that water he gave them cannot last. He hated the Ishmael, his son, because of hatred he has for the African daughter Hagar. Then Haggai went to inside the bush, unknowing what to do. At a stage, everything got finished, including the water. And the son Ishmael is crying. He went somewhere and dropped the child, and went somewhere and be meditating, crying, praying, calling the gods of Africa, to show you that God hears the prayers of Africa. Don't allow foreigners to tell you that we don't know God, we don't know Chukwu. Who told you? But they came here, their missionary came here, blackmail us, telling us that we don't know Chukwu. That is only their own Chukwu, God is God. But our own Chukwu is not it. That we are worshiping demon. They demonized us. But at a point, Haggai, remember that she is from African daughter. He called his ancestors, he prayed, and the help came to her. She was advised to go and carry his son, that there must be a way out, to show you that God, Chukwu Okike, loves Africa. He hears our prayers. Don't allow Onye Anyari Obona to tell you that your prayers will not be answered because you are following the path of your ancestors. He prayed, and her prayers was heard. And Chukwu provided water, Ome, for her. And because with water he can do everything. With water he began to settle down well. And the young Ishmael grew up and become a hunter. And before you know it, he become an adult. And Haggai still remember how they treated her and her son Ishmael very badly, because she is from Africa. So if anybody is telling you that you are Anyari person, you are calling St. Anthony, you are calling this one, we love you more than your descendants, your ancestors, the person is telling you lies. I tell you, nobody will love you more than your ancestors, because they are your roots. Now, because of the way they treated Ishmael as nobody, because they wanted Ishmael and Hagar to die. But Chukwu Okike, in his infinite mercy, spared their lives and tell them that they will be great. Chukwu Okike promised Ishmael that they will be great, that from him he will raise a great nation. And he did it. So when Ishmael became of age, then Haggai went back to Egypt to find a wife. Like I told you, if you have not watched my teaching, Africa, the First Son of God, you are missing something. Go to my YouTube, you see it. He went there and fetched a wife for him. And that is how they began to raise their own race. You know, remember, this Asia you are seeing, the Arabs, we call them Arabs. They settled within this geopolitical area known today as Iraq, Iran, because they later became world power. Don't you know that they later became world power? Yes, they later became world power during the Babylonian Empire. That during the king of Persia, they call it Persian Empire. That's what Asia is. They are answering then, Persia. When they became Persia, you know what they are dragging, what is causing problem between the Asians, the Persian people, the Iraq and Iran and ISIS. People normally call the Arab today, within Israel. What they are dragging is the Obi Abraham. Because when they grew, the Ishmael grew, his mother told him the story, how they treated him badly. He became angry. So what they are dragging is Obi Abraham, the inheritance. So when the Persia became the world power, remember, the Africa is the first world power before the Persia. When the Persia people became the world power. Do you know what they did? They wanted to wipe out Israel from the world map. They defeated them in war. They took them to other Europe, take them where they come from, took them to America, London, and everything. Europe, scattered them. Their land became empty. They took their own brothers, people you know today as Palestinians, to feed their land. So the Israelites map is no longer in the world. It's 1948 that the Europeans began to trace little remnants of the Jewish people and make small space, supported them with weapons, give them small area they settle, and began to fight to reclaim some of the place they reclaimed. But they have not reclaimed all. Do you know that even Bethlehem is still in the hand of the Palestinians? Are you following? So if you see where they are fighting, you that is for joining them, you know where to join. So what I'm telling you is that because of the way they treated the descendant of Ishmael, that is what is causing war, if you don't know. So, but what I'm bringing and taking home from it is that they hated Africa so much. So if you think that these people that hated Africa so much will bring good things for Africa, no. They invaded Africa, share African countries among themselves because of mineral resources. I told you when they came to this country, they divided themselves into three. One went into government. Second portion went to missionary. The third group went into business, slavery. They began to those blacks in Europe, so intention how here was buy. So the first missionary, the first group, the government have left, but the missionary still remain. Then the traders use the money they make from all these things to buy off our mineral resources. You know, the Shell, you know, the Chevron, you know, the Ajib, you know, they bought all those mineral resources because those mineral resources is still taking our revenue back to their country of origin. The whole thing they can love us. The missionary they brought for us is to keep us remain slave. Do you know that these Catholics that still remitting money back to Rome? Do you know that their intention is to make us to subject us to be still under them? They will be preaching some of those things, telling us that even if they slap us in this cheek, we can turn the other one. They will slap us well. That we should bow us anyway. You keep running heavy race, but they are busy building their own heaven here on earth. Africa, wake up. Read the fourth one, chapter.
Genesis 21, 14 to 21.
Okay.
Early the next morning, Abraham took some food and a skin of water and gave them to Hagar. He sent them on her shoulders and then sent her off with the sun. She went on her way and wandered in the desert of Beersheba. Verse 15. When the water in the skin was gone, she put the boy under one of the bushes. 16. Then she went off and sat about a bow shot away. From there, she began to think. And she said, I cannot let this boy die. As she sat there, she began to cry. Verse 17. God had heard the boy crying, and the angel of the God called to Hagar from heaven and said to her, What is the matter, Hagar? Do not be afraid. God has heard the boy crying as he lies there. 18. Lift the boy up. Take him by your hand, for I will make him into a great nation. Verse 19. Then God opened her eyes and she saw a well of water. She went and filled the skin with water and gave the boy to drink. Verse 20. God was with the boy as he grew up. He lived in the desert and became a hunter. Verse 21. While he was living in the desert of Paran, his mother got a wife for him from Egypt.
Okay. you had on the same Bible you are holding. So nobody, the mother interceded. When it became so hard, the mother said, oh no, I will not let my son to die. This is the same prayer your ancestors are praying. Because their prayer is that you live longer. Your prayers, your ancestors are saying interceding to you because they want you to be the honor chair. Your ancestors want you to keep the family lineage running. So nobody, no foreigner will love you more than your ancestors. The same way the Haggai prayed that I will not let my son die. He began to cry. And help came. So the same way your ancestors will keep on crying on your behalf. And they will always come to rescue and to help you. So know it today to always call upon your ancestors because they are the people that love you genuinely. And they come back to your roots because the root represented your ancestors. Yes, the same root. You see, you can never bear fruit if you are not connected with the root. That is the simple truth. You see oranges, the way oranges bear fruit is because the root went far deep inside to get all the manure, the water, and rest of them, and supply it to the branches, and the branches began to bear fruit, bear oranges. So you that cut yourself off from your ancestors, how do you expect to bear fruit? Your ancestors will go far where you cannot even reach to get all you need in order for you to bear fruit. So I can put it to you that one of the reasons why you are not bearing fruit is that because you cut your ancestors off. You cut your root off. So from today, go back and align yourself with your root, and it shall be well with you. Number 5.
Now, the length of time the Israelites people lived in Egypt was 430 years.
You can see, these Israelites, we fed them, we trained them, we groomed them for 430 years. That's how long they stayed in Africa. Now, today, what are they paying us with? What are they paying Africa with? Have they paid homage for all the trainings, all the feeding? During the time of famine in their land, they ran to Africa for food. You remember the story of Joseph, when there was so much famine in their place, how they ran to Africa to get food. At the end of the day, what did they pay Africa? Don't forget that Africans originated from Egypt. Some people moved towards the east. Yes, because of there is so much heat, because they live in the north. But Habinenu, now here part of the Africa. That's why the climate there, they are white. But we move towards Ewanyang. That's why our color changed. So if anybody is telling you that even you, the Igbo, you came from Jew, the person is not understand how things work. It's all lies. It's all lies because it's not true. They are trying to link us with Eri in order to enslave us. We don't have link with these people or whatever. Forget about the story of Eri in the Bible and all that. We don't have any link. I remember of the former Ohanese president of blessed memory, Dr. Dozie Ikedife. Before he passed on, he brought the Israelites to come, and he has a hospital in Nnewi, to run lab, to see if there is any way we have any link, blood-wise, with these people. And none. So if anybody is deceiving you that we have anything to do with the Israelites, the person is deceiving you. So you have seen it. So what I'm telling you, you that is hearing my voice today, pay attention to your root. It's only your root that will make you achieve greatness. Some of these things you are running from one pastor to another, from spiritualist to another, from one leader, is as a result of negligence. As a result of not recognizing the fact you severed yourself from your root. How can you bear fruit? How can you bear fruit? Do you know what the root is all about? The root of every tree. I want to analyze this. The root of every tree, how strong every tree can be, depends on how deep and how far the root can. So if you begin today to recognize your ancestors from your mother's side, from your father's side, the more you are recognizing them, the more you are expanding, the more you are remaining stronger. I remember my ancestors even from my great fathers. You remember them. Iye so mara ebe nna gị mụrụ nwa dị ana na ebe nna gị so wee nna ya wee mụ nwa dị ana. All those things, you need it. Call your ancestors. Call those ones you know and ask them to call others. Onya akpọrọ ya kpọọ ibia. You need to recognize them because nobody will love you more than your bloodline. Nobody. Maka na-asị na ezi oyi ka ajọ nwanne. Mana ndị Igbo akwara okwu a wee sị na ozu si n'isi ezi oyi ana. O nwere ihe ịghọta. So nobody will love you more than your parents. Nobody. And it's only your father. I keep saying it. It's only your father that will carry cola and pray. Gods of my ancestors. Chinke nna nna ha. Nekwa na ụmụma. Na mụ abụ nna ha emekwa na otu ike kwara m. Na ọfọ nna agọ bụ let this my children be greater than me. Let whatever I have not achieved, let them achieve it. It's only your father that can pray this prayer. I can tell you. Even though you monagi, even your neighbor cannot say this kind of prayer. If the person loves you most, he will pray to be number one while you are coming. That's the best the person can give you. It's only your father that can pray, God, I have done my best. Let my children be greater than me. It's only your father. Now, the same father of yours. Don't you know that your ancestors, your father, you are seeing, is the representative of your ancestors? Don't you know? Ndị Igbo ji atụ ilu si Igbo parable. That onye mara nna ya mara ndị Igbo. You can't claim that you love your ancestors when you cannot love your present parents you are seeing. I can tell you, if you are at peace with your present parents and you pray, they are happy with you. They said, my ancestors, see my children I'm leaving behind. Bless them. Make them great. Even in the land of the spirit, your father will keep interceding, saying, I don't want my children to die. You see, begin to pray that prayer Hagar prayed. I don't want my children to die. He began to pray, crying, calling the gods of our land, please don't allow my children to die. That prayer alone, believe in me, you will not know why the prayer is like that. Chukwu Okike saw how he was maltreated with the sword, and this man didn't even care that this is my blood. He didn't care. To show you the Abraham, that Abraham in a year claiming that Abraham blessings is yours. Front and back. When was the last time you even called my ancestors' blessings are mine? Because you demonize them. You don't recognize them. Remember, Chukwu Okike is there, seeing how Hagar was maltreated. He was there, seeing how Abraham showed wickedness to Hagar. He was there, seeing when Abraham sent Hagar and Ishmael away. He was there, still watching. Did he intercede in any way? He kept quiet. To know what the root of Hagar, of Ishmael will do. He waited. That's why I told you that any prayer you prayed when you are angry or when you are happy is fast heard. At the stage, the son, Ishmael, began to cry. No water. Because they have already exhausted the little water they have. She kept with her son. And moved some few stepped forward and began to pray, calling the gods of Africa. Remember, you cannot tell me that he called called Jesus or he called the Chindi Aocha, because he's African's daughter. He understands how Africa prayed in Egypt, where she came from. She prayed and called upon the gods of Africa to come and save her and save her son. See her prayer. I don't want my child to die. She's selfless. She's not even thinking about her own death, knowing fully well that without food and water, it's just a matter of time that she will die too. She remains selfless. That's a good heart from African woman. She became selfless of herself. We're thinking about her child. The same way your ancestors will pay attention to things that concerns you more, if only you recognize them. But you know why they abandon you? Because you first abandoned them. You don't recognize them. A man on the nation and go their career. So when she now prayed, because of the prayer, she prayed prayers. So what I can tell you that whenever you are facing challenges, when you pray, Chukwu Okike is there, looking at you to know what your next move, to know whether you will say a word of please, my ancestors help me. The way your ancestors are looking at you now as we speak, they saw all those calamities that is happening in your family. That's all of them. They saw all those challenges your family is facing, but they kept quiet. The word Chukwu kept quiet, because Chukwu is not Father Christmas. They will never give you what you did not ask for. By the time you reach the year, Haggai prayed, I don't want my child to die, and began to pray. She was sober. By so doing, help came. By praying, we are told that Chukwu had their prayer, had their cry, told the son. Say, okay, you have done the needful. So whenever you are facing the challenges, you have to speak it out. Yes, whenever you are facing challenges, you have to speak it out. Even if you warrant you cry, cry. So when Haggai cried because of the challenges she and her son is facing, he pleaded for mercy. She pleaded for help, and help came. And the source of water was provided to them. And what exactly that saved Ishmael's life and the Haggai life. So what am I saying in essence? Learn how to recognize your ancestors. Learn how to recognize your root, because it's only your root that will pray and intercede for you. So we are rounding up. So what I'm saying now is, I'm giving this message as a Wake Up of Africa. Wake Up Africa Part 2. Come back to your roots, and it shall be well with you. Stop keeping quiet. Stop abandoning your ancestors, calling another person's ancestors, because they will never love you the way your ancestors do. Let me stop here. If you have any question in today's lecture, send message to my WhatsApp 0805 78 37672. I repeat, 0805 78 37672 or 0813 8243 871. See you tomorrow. In the name of the Most High, the Creator of the whole universe, may the power and blessings of the Most High be with us and abide with us. See you some other time.